Monica Makes It Happen is proudly supported by Goya. If it's Goya, it has to be good. JP Morgan Chase, New York's hometown bank for over 225 years, and by Ponce Bank, your community bank.
Hi, everybody. You're watching the Monica Makes It Happen show, and I am so excited to have this next guest with me in the studio. I always prefer when you're here, by the way, so I'm grateful you made the trek out here to 42nd Street. We met, full disclosure, at a Latina luncheon in Newark, and I was like, I have to have Daniela here. Daniela Palacios. She's from Newark. It's your last year at Columbia University.
Yes, graduating this May.
And she's a boss. She's already a CEO and has her own company. I love this. She's a children's author and the founder of Para Kids. It is a bilingual education company, right?
Yes.
Helping our kids all across our area not only embrace language, but we know language is power. Okay.
Exactly.
And you're bilingual brilliance. That is what you are. First of all, I want to talk about your story because you really got me with your story because you spoke to the kids and the young people and they really resonated with you. And I love that you said too, you're like, I'm probably the closest age to you. And that's true, right? Sometimes that's all it takes is you really know what it's like to be young and searching for a purpose. How did you find this purpose? There's a really great story there.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here. And for me, really what was the beginning of Para Kids, it started in my family and it started with my little brother, Xavier. So at the time he was 7 years old and this was during COVID. So just like any other family, we were at home spending a lot of time talking and just doing lots of activities. And I realized throughout time that my brother was really struggling with his Spanish. And it was something that, I noticed it here and there, instances where maybe my parents or I would say a joke in Spanish and then he would, take a little second and it didn't really make sense to him. But then that also extended to even at the dinner table, having conversations. And he usually would just respond in English. He didn't really feel comfortable speaking Spanish. And so I realized that this was language barriers. This is what he was experiencing within my bilingual household. And I tried to look for bilingual tools to help him. And I couldn't really find any actual authentic bilingual books that were in English and Spanish. So that's when I really felt that frustration, but also that love for my brother. So I realized I want to create something for my brother to help him become bilingual. And that was the beginning of Para Kids.
I love this story so much because I was at Barnes & Noble. I'm obsessed with bookstores, especially Barnes & Noble. And I hope they're watching because they need to have your book on the shelves right now. And what I love about is looking through your book. It's so, first of all, the illustrations. There's a story about the illustrations too, which I love. Can you tell us that as well?
So with the illustrations as well, something that was really important to me is just, first of all, acknowledging that there's still a lot of representation that needs to be done within the children's publishing space and media space. So understanding that we still need more characters that come from bilingual immigrant households. All of our characters, they're either immigrants themselves, they're children of immigrants. And that's something that I'm very proud of. And whenever I work with schools and I'm in school districts, a lot of the school communities we work with are those students and they come from those target communities. So they feel seen and they really connect with the book and the characters and the storyline. And that really makes all the difference in someone's language learning journey.
I just love you so much, Daniela. It's exactly what we're looking for when we highlight community champions. What you did was you saw a need, a huge need in your own community, in your family. And then you did something about it. Most people, okay, let's just talk real here. Most people see that every day, see the problems, and then they just, it's too bad. What really moved you and was that, I guess, element that we need to know about if we're watching at home that made you an action hero? Like what makes the difference, you think? Is it the love for your brother? Is it the love for this kind of social change that you're looking to make?
Yeah, so definitely what really moved the needle for me was seeing my brother just feel limited and just really experience those barriers and seeing that in real time. how that also translated to his performance academically, in sports, just like even family relationships. Like my grandpa, he doesn't speak English. So when we would go to like the carne asadas and like the barbecue, he wouldn't really talk to my grandfather because of that language barrier. And so even just seeing how language barriers can affect the student and the child, but also the community as a whole and the family, that really resonated with me. And being a former ESL student myself, I already knew firsthand what it was like to experience language barriers. And so the last thing that I would ever wish upon anyone, especially my little brother, was to experience that as well. So I feel like it was all of those experiences that really made me just want to go and like figure out a way to self-publish a book, and not just any book, but a bilingual children's book, which is a really unique format that, once again, I didn't really see before. So that was really, the beginning.
So useful, so beautiful. And it is an enterprise now. You are a CEO and you are a boss, which I love. I always think Latina should be the boss anyway. But Daniela, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk more about the future of Para Kids and what you hope you'll see as a Columbia University student. We love Columbia as well. And then also what people can do themselves, because we want to also, motivate people. And then I do my little speed round at the end, which is always good. I mean, I always love I never know what's going to be said in the speed round, and how you can support this incredible community champion that's coming up.
Monica Makes It Happen Community Champions is proudly supported by Ponce Bank, your community bank.
All right, and we're back with Daniela Palacios. And if you don't have her books, you can see them. They're on Amazon, right? How do we get these books?
So you can purchase them on our website, parakidsbooks.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook at parakidsbooks. And we also offer wholesale orders for school districts, nonprofit organizations, or community members and sponsors. So definitely reach out to us via email, on our socials, or I'm on LinkedIn as well at Daniela Palacios.
I love this. She's an enterprise. I love her. And what I love is that it's in English and in Spanish, because I grew up with Spanglish, I guess was what you call it. I thought you said chicken, and I actually still don't know how to say chicken McNuggets. My mom would say chicken McNuggets. She struggled to say certain words, and I still have issues speaking on, because now that I'm a news reporter, I'm supposed to speak a certain way.
Right.
And so I really had to train myself, but I actually love the parts of me that are not right, I guess. Does that make sense? Like, I like that I don't speak like everybody else, that I have issues a little bit. And no one ever, I'm still employed, so I guess I'm doing something right.
And I don't want you to see that as issues, really, because I feel like, especially in society and even sometimes in school communities, sometimes we give students, and even educators learn this as well, about language hierarchies where, English is better than Spanish. Or if you're an ESL student, it's like you have to forget your Spanish or your native language to learn English. But that really only harms the student long term, because all of the things that they could have learned and all the ways they could have grown being bilingual and open to this globalized world that we're in, they miss on all of those opportunities. So definitely don't want you to see that as, like an issue. And I totally feel the same way as an ESL student. Sometimes I have these public speaking opportunities or engagements, and then I remember the word in Spanish first, or I'm just like, it's a mix of both. So just embracing that and knowing that that's our story, and that's what makes us powerful, and that's what makes you you, and that's beautiful.
Thank you so much. I think this is a therapy session, but the older I get, the more I realize how valuable what my mom taught me. And she didn't have a high school education. She didn't speak English very well. She didn't read English, but she was the smartest person that I knew. And so I'm starting to learn that was the most valuable person that I've ever known is my mom. And I think maybe people can relate to that if they have family members that don't speak English or don't have the classic, Columbia education or the Ivy League education. And that's okay. I love that you said that, because I think sometimes you carry that around, even in these incredible rooms that you get to be in, like these podcast studios. I still have that kind of story in my head. But can you imagine being a child right now in this world and in this beautiful city that we have? What's your message to young people right now? What do you want your mission and your books to be about?
Yeah, I would say that with Para Kids and all the work that I do within Para Kids and also just as a person, my mission is really to just empower youth to see themselves, their stories, their cultures represented, and just to really validate their experiences and their stories, because I feel like that is really the beginning of anyone to really become a social impact change maker, to become a leader, is that they first need to know that they are a leader already. They have it within them. And that's something that, I'm very grateful that I was able to have that realization early on.
How did this happen for you? No, I need to know for a friend. But how did you get to be like this so early on? Do you think it's because of your background? Do you think it's because of your childhood? You were talking about you came here to this country. Does it come
at
from
8 years old?
Where?
Yeah.
Where were you? Where did you come?
So my family's from Ecuador and I was born in Spain. So I've always also navigated, those two cultures and understanding that as part of my identity. I would definitely say it's been so many things, so many great people, including obviously my wonderful parents, my community. And I just remember always having really amazing institutions that my parents would take me to or I would just go to as I got older, whether it was the public library. I loved going to that space.
They took you to the public library. Those are good
especially
parents.
when I was, recently arrived to the US and trying to learn English. That felt like such a sanctuary space for me where I felt so comfortable learning the language and just having fun and doing activities.
We are so connecting you with the New York Public Library. They have been, actually, I have a very good connection over there. We're going to do some shows with them.
Okay.
You have to be in the New York Public Library. And me too. I love, like I said, I love being around books, but I can see you as a kid. So that changed your life. What other institutions were paramount? Was it now Columbia? Did you ever, I don't know how your parents feel about that, but I'm proud of you because it's so hard to get into that school. What do you think that's about? You're just a really smart cookie too.
Yeah, apart from third spaces like the library and museums and just other programs that I did, there was one particular program that revolved around entrepreneurship that I did as a junior in high school. And that was my first exposure to the entrepreneurship business space. We were able to meet lots of local business owners from all types of industries. And I really feel like that was the change that I needed in combination with my brother's story and just the timeliness and just the urgency of having to fix that pain point for my brother. That's really what created Para Kids.
Yeah, I'm falling in love. I fall in love with all my guests, but you're using all the words that urgency. There is a sense of urgency with what you're doing.
Definitely,
And do you remember the name of the program? I love to promote these programs.
Yeah, so this program, it's called the Young Entrepreneurs Academy. Okay. And so they have chapters and programs all over the United States from what I understand. And it was a program that I did at Rutgers Newark Business School.
Oh, Rutgers!
So yeah, it was amazing.
Love
and
Rutgers.
Since then, I know you mentioned, my experience at Columbia. I have definitely, I think also being an ESL student, being an immigrant, has really made me be really intentional about spaces that I put myself in and also making sure that not only am I grateful for the experiences and the resources that I get, but I am using them as much as I can so that I can also bring that back to the community or share those resources, after they benefit me. So within Columbia, I joined the only and the largest entrepreneurship club on campus, was part of the executive board for 2 years, and really made sure that I learned about the NYC entrepreneurial ecosystem, connected with lots of founders in different industries, and really was able to learn more about I guess that entrepreneurial confidence and know that I wasn't in it alone, because I would see, these people, they had MBAs or they even, I don't know, dropped out of college and they built these great business ventures that had a specific impact and purpose for a specific community. And that just really reaffirmed my entrepreneurial identity, because not only am I first generation college student, but I'm also a first generation entrepreneur. So I'd love to lead with that, because I know that there's people that, they're really lucky that they had entrepreneurs in their family for generations.
Yes.
But really, I'm the first one in my family. And I'm excited to, keep that legacy going in the future as well.
Brava, Daniela. We're so excited about that. And when we come back, we're going to do a speed round. I could listen to you all day, but I want to ask you a speed round of questions.
Okay.
I learned so much from you. See, I learned a lot from my guests. I'm learning from you. That's when we come back. Okay, we're back for our final speed round, and I can't even believe it. Daniela Palacios is here, the founder of Para Kids. She is a mogul, and she's still in college. We love that, at Columbia University. I'm like a proud auntie or something. Okay, speed round. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
First book that changed your life. Like one of the books, well, of course, your books change lives, but what would you say is a good?
That's such a good question. Oh my gosh.
It was someone told me to read Rich Poor. What is it? Rich
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
That's a great one. But I am reading the Sermon on the Mount recently, just because of I'm in meditation. I'm trying to do more meditation because my schedule's nuts. And then I'm answering the question myself. And then I would like to read the Bible. I've never read the Bible from
fully.
And some people say it's like a spiritual experience to do that. Just take the time.
That sounds nice.
So I try to do a few pages a night if I'm good.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, so those are my answers. And I'm going to read your book now. And actually I did. I actually read through, that after the lunch, I kind of read through your book. Oh my God, look what I just opened up to.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Where are they?
So the story is about the three characters are sharing about their family's culture. So Ricardo, he's the male character. He's from Brazil. And so he's sharing, really popular cultural icons of his country that really show where he's from, and he's proud of it. He's proud of his language, of his culture, and that's what we want
and it
all
opened
students
up
to feel.
This incredible,
the family,
the wonder of the world.
Yeah. Cristo Redentor.
That's
Christ the Redeemer.
I've always wanted to go there. I've always wanted to see that.
We have to go.
Okay, so I'm going to take you off that spot. Favorite childhood book is this one, I know. See, I asked these questions. One word that describes Newark, where you're from.
Oh my gosh.
It's a tough one. I would say inspiring, multicultural.
Yeah.
But what would you?
I would say persistence.
Oh,
and persistent just in general. Like we never give up. And there's so many incredible icons from all industries from Newark. So I'm just happy to, hopefully continue working to become one of those, and also make other Newark youth feel seen and continue to, bring them up as well.
You're doing it. Teacher or person who changed your life?
I have to give a huge shout out. First of all my teachers, elementary, K to 12, high school, were incredible. And if there was, one specific shout out I could give, it would be to my Portuguese teacher, Professor Laborio. I had him for basically 4 years all throughout high school. And once again, I don't just say bilingualism is a superpower. I also make sure I act upon that. So I'm actually trilingual because I took Portuguese for 4 years. Então eu falo pouquinho de português. And that was all, literally all that I learned in Portuguese was with Professor Laborio. And I feel like he also told me and taught me language learning in a way that was really fun and also really integrated culture as well. So we learned about all of these Lusophone countries, Cape Verde, obviously Portugal, Brazil. And these are all things that I still remember to this day. And I always make sure when we go into the classroom and we do workshops that students also know that, language learning and learning a language opens you up to this incredible world and incredible cultures.
Wow, I love that. I love your passion for language. It's like, it's so contagious. One thing every child should feel when they read this book. What do you want them to feel?
Oh my gosh, so many things.
That's a good one, right?
I would say definitely I would just want the student to feel joy, because what's a book, and specifically a children's book, if you don't feel some level of joy and happiness, like whether it was something that made you laugh, or maybe, you know, in our first book, we also cover animals from Ecuador and the United States.
Yeah.
Maybe you see, you know, the turtle from the Galapagos Island in Ecuador, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I have a turtle and I want a turtle. Just little moments like that, it's unforgettable, and no money can ever buy that. So that's incredible for me.
That's right. That's right. And one word that defines your mission.
Once again, it has to be empower, just empowering youth. We also do parent bilingual workshops because we need to empower the parents. Parents are quite literally the first teachers for any child. So we need to empower them first of all. So we work with the PTAs and the parent teams and liaisons to bring those workshops to the PTA meetings as well.
So I think when I talk to you again, and hopefully this is really soon, but let's
Yes.
say, let's fast forward like a year or two from now.
All right.
Where are these books going to be? What's the future? Like, what's the dream?
Yeah, so really the vision is I'd love to be like national, and we are already national in the sense that I know that there's people that have purchased our books or follow us on socials and are following our journey from all over the United States.
How do we do that, by the way? How do we do that?
So we are on Instagram and Facebook at Para Kids Books.
I think I already follow you.
Yeah. And
do.
we also, you know, if you want to follow my personal founder story, again, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm super active on LinkedIn, making sure that both the youth, but also, you know, professionals and community members
And it's
know
Para
that
Kids,
we're building.
Right? Para Kids.
Yeah, Para Kids Books.
Okay, I'm doing that right now. See,
Yeah.
There's no time like the present. Do it right now if you're
No,
watching.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
then you
then
forget.
on Instagram too, right? Instagram.
Yeah,
I love
Facebook, Instagram, Para Kids Books. Yeah. So that's really what we care about, just like empowering students and doing it in a way that's student-centered and bringing all voices, parents, educators, community members, and of course, the students.
Yeah, the students. Thank you so much for everything
Thank
you're doing,
you.
Daniela. You are a community champion for sure. And thank you always for watching our show right here on Pix 11, all of our platforms. I like to say Monica Mondays, if you're watching television too. I always joke we do TV too at 11 a.m. every Monday now. And just think about money. We're always trying to get money funding for your community organizations through our partnerships. And then it's always about you. If you need my help, you know we're here for you at Monica Morales TV on all of our social media platforms. Thanks, Daniela.
Thank you.
Daniela's making it happen. See you next time, everybody.
Bye.
You're amazing.